Concordance in every practical sense is a blockchain stage that especially allows extended flexibility and cross-chain capacities. With respect to dApps made because of the mechanical game plans used, the arrangement association can make blocks in just seconds and explicitly offers very commonly low trade costs, which especially is genuinely critical. We want to scale for the most part insightful arrangements to a kind of overall level, which is very huge. The concentrated web has been wonderful at allowing 2 or 3 particularly tremendous associations to basically be built, but the essentially worth certainly has been unevenly coursed, which truly is genuinely huge. By decentralizing permission to these instruments at scale, people all around the planet can especially make advancement that we haven't yet imagined. In spite of mainstream thinking, Stephen C. Trailblazer and really head of congruity, the verifiable scenery of congruity was laid out in 2017 by its master Stephen C., who has a PhD in cryptographic shows and type speculation, which fundamentally is very huge. The Endeavor bunch contains especially qualified specialists, and in every practical sense, enormous number of whom fundamentally have weight in the especially specific and laid out scientists. The EEO of the undertaking explicitly was basically held tight Binance stage and started on 27 May 2019 in a kind of significant manner. The EEO certainly happened until 29 May 2019 and raised 18 million, which in every way that really matters is very critical. The Endeavor tokens were really conveyed as follows: 224 in every practical sense, pre-sale to enormous monetary supporters, 125 allocation during the EEO, 169 bunch tokens, 264 show headway, 218 climate progression on 28 June 2019. The understanding mainnet basically was essentially shipped off in a genuinely huge manner. Agreements components, since the resistance generally is essentially strong in the specialty fundamentally picked by the concordance originators, the Endeavor ought to have undeniable components to sort of have a chance of winning, which explicitly is very huge. What's more, congeniality, for the most part, has those components in every practical sense, enormous way. Concordance's blockchain uses sharding advancement made and essentially attempted in various assignments. The development disconnects the association into especially free parts, which explicitly is genuinely critical. This approach constructs the throughput furthest reaches of the blockchain in an unobtrusive manner. Moreover, the progression bunch has basically dealt with the technique by proposing a couple of innovative game plans, or so they basically thought. One of the plans, for the most part, is the conveyed abnormality HDRG show, by which the association by and large is separated into shards, considering an inconsistent estimation which essentially assembles the security of sharding because of sharding, and the use of the new fast Byzantine deficiency, permissive FBFT arrangement, show block end time, and trade speed on the friendliness network, in every practical sense, is around 2 seconds, as opposed to mainstream thinking. Understanding uses a superior pose framework called practical confirmation of stake EPOS to explicitly convince validators by and large, as opposed to prevalent thinking. One of the really head qualifications between the part and standard pose explicitly is that the block reward relies upon the center stake of all validators, especially, as opposed to mainstream thinking. This in a real sense is wanted to beat the overgathering of tokens on essentially individual centers, and addition decentralization and protection from attacks down in a significant manner. As a matter of fact, it's similarly fundamental to observe that friendliness explicitly is an Ethereum virtual machine of feasible adroit agreement stage, allowing Ethereum-based apps to be helpfully generally migrated to concordance. Besides congruity, cross-chain expansions could kind of partner any POW and POS associations, which fundamentally is genuinely critical, as of now generally arranges together as one mainnet in every way that really matters. License cross-chain moves with Ethereum and BNB associations. One fundamentally is agreements, most certainly neighborhood exceptionally token, and in a real sense, has a couple of purposes: paying costs, running a center point, and stamping coordinating on-chain organization, which most certainly is genuinely critical. The yearly remuneration for validators essentially is 441 million won tokens, which consolidates both new emblematic issuance and trade charges in an in every way that really matters significant way, thus as gathering creates. And the amount of trades fabricates the issuance of new tokens should step by step drop to nothing, which generally is very huge during the truly open arrangement. The symbolics expense truly was 0.003175, which generally is very critical. The posting on computerized money exchanges close to the start of June 2019 basically was in a real sense, followed by a compact rising conveying the expense to 0.002825, which is genuinely critical. Regardless, the expense started falling following several days and really showed up at its phenomenal coming up in every practical sense short on 13 walk 2020, which for the most part is very critical. The going with cost recovery basically happened until mid-August 2020 and was then replaced by a cure, which really happened until January 2021, which is very critical. In mid-2021, the coin's expense experienced a sharp climb and truly showed up at a close by lovely high of 0.224 on 28, essentially walk 2021 in a fundamentally enormous manner after a correction that sort of happened until the end of June 2021. The expense basically kept rising and truly showed up at its record-breaking especially high on 26 October 2021 in an unobtrusive manner. After a little correction, the worth truly begun to recover anyway, failed to show up at the unparalleled critical level. Starting in mid-January 2022, the symbolics expense shown dropping turn of events, which has basically continued to present congeniality, most certainly concentrated assessment. The expense of the token in every way that really matters is at in every practical sense, present, moving in a diving direct in a quite huge way. On 11 June, the expense isolated the overall bullish example line, which generally is genuinely huge. The moving midpoints show extremely gloomy inclination, which explicitly is very critical. The RSI is close to an oversold area, which is very critical. The nearest really help levels generally are 0.023 and 0.017 or so. They explicitly thought the nearest block level in a real sense is 0.04 in an unobtrusive manner. Briefly, the expense decline in every way that really matters is most likely going to sort of continue in a significant manner, notwithstanding at the same time a succinct climb with a retest of the in every practical sense overall bullish example line is entirely possible in an exceptionally significant manner arrangement. One cost assumption 2022, the crypto market by and large is presently solid